Hey everybody, got a great song for you, Sweet Georgia Brown. And this song, the chord changes have been used for at least one other jazz bebop standard, I guess would be Miles Davis's song Dig. And I believe there's a Thelonious Monk song also with the same changes. Now, I've got a chart that comes out of the New Real Book Standard, so that's kind of a hard one to find for free, so I'll put that down in the description. And I've also got a track that I created with Band in the Box, and it's at 170 beats per minute, goes through the progression about 4 times. Now, let me just play a little bit of it for you in case you don't know what song I'm talking about. So that first chord was an F also, but I played a rootless voicing, so let me put the F chord to make it a little more clear. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the rootless voicings that you can use to get through this song, because if you play along with the track, the bass player will hit those roots and your rootless voicings will sound pretty cool. Also, you can get through this song with I think about 3 blues scales will pretty much get you through the whole song. Of course, there's lots of other things that you could do, but we're going to concentrate on those blues scales. Now, let's go over the 3 blues scales I think you need. The first one is D blues. All right, but we're going to use that on the F chord, so it'll look like this. But if we're talking about the standard blues scale, it would be a D minor blues. All right, that'd be for the F chord. And really, there's no real actual thing as the blues scale, because most of the time, even when you use say this particular one that I'm using, you're going to use some other notes from the F blues scale, so if you've studied the blues and you're comfortable with the blues, you'll know what to do. However, let's stick with this blues scale. I may hit other notes in there, but that's basically what I'm going to do. Here's the rootless voicing for a B flat. Okay, you can add that note in there if you want to, but why bother? Now we're going to switch to the actual F blues scale. So we've got the root, the 3rd, 4th, tritone, or flat 5, whatever you want to call it. 5th, flat 7, back to the root. All right, and of course you could use that on the first chord too. But there, see, I switched back into the D blues scale. Now, B flat. And there I'm using a little bit of, some melodic B flat stuff. E flat, C blues scale. All right, that was pure C blues scale. And then we're going to get to A flat. It's like an A flat 6th, so you could do something like that maybe. And we're going to go back to the F blues scale again, because it transfers over into A flat very nicely. Kind of the same way as that D blues scale worked for the F chord in the beginning. Now we're on, see, it was like a minor 3rd below. Now we're on A flat, minor 3rd below that is F, so. And if I play it like that, it sounds like F blues. But if I put A flat chord in there. Okay, so that's the first half of the song. Then, sometimes you put a little 2-5-1, B flat minor, E flat, like that in there. And looking at the chart, I see, for F, and then we see this B7 flat 5. Yeah. Really, the best way to handle that, it's just a tritone away, so it's really nothing that you really need to do. But one thing you could do is just flat that, and then you've got a B9. We don't have the flat 5 in there, but what we're playing, we'll probably hit an F in there someplace, right? that's the flat 5 of a B. But I don't even think you need to think of that. Just think of F, and then, a different kind of F. F with a 13, that's 13, or F with a flat 13. All right? Same thing as that chord progression there. All right, let's take the second half of the song, the B section. And unfortunately, this chart is on 2 pages because there's an intro that I'm not going to cover. And so you'll have to print out 2 pages. Sure you don't accidentally print on both sides of the paper, because that's a real pain in the patootie. All right, so it starts off the same way. And good thing about this song is, it's got 4 measures of most of the chords, right? So you can really, take time to get used to the sound of that chord. If you're a beginner, it gives you a lot of chance to, mess around with it and see what happens. B flat. Maybe a quick little C chord there. And the reason I'm using a C altered, and that's because the 9 has been sharped, so we call it an altered dominant. You might know the altered dominant man, Kent Hewitt. One of my competitors, but he's a good friend. So I use that because I'm going to a minor 6 chord, which I could play like that, or I could play like that. And, frequently, if it's like a 2-5-1 going to a minor chord, we use an altered dominant. So it'll sound good there. And so we're going to F minor. All right, I think I will play it kind of like that. So I went to my G minor. Does it say a flat 5? It does. And then our C7 and back to F minor. And I play with a big band sometimes. I may have put up a video of that recently where I play this song. And there, what happens in that arrangement is like F minor 6, G minor and C, F minor 6, and then B flat and E flat, a 2-5-1 going to the A flat that comes next. It works pretty well. Do I have that on the track? I have that on the track, as a matter of fact. So right there, the first G minor, C is good. The second one, let's change it to B flat and E flat. All right. And then we have this descending thing. All right, so you could just, do something like that, the triads. Right, I'm just playing A flat 7th. Right, there's A flat 7 with a 13. And the 13 is unaltered, right? It's not a flat 13. So, that's the kind of thing you could add safely to a 7th chord. It's not really that safe. I mean, if it's a minor 2-5-1, you're better off using an altered dominant. But you just have to know the song and know the arrangement and decide what sounds best. In this case, an unaltered dominant will be the best, and we're just moving down in half steps. And to tell you the truth, you could just stay on the F blues scale. It'll sound okay. It's just the thing about the blues scale. You can play almost any chord underneath of it, and it sounds good. And then we've got a 2-5-1. And I noticed that 2 chord is not a minor. All right? When you're dealing with 2-5-1s, the only chord that just has to be a particular thing is the 5 chord. It has to be a dominant. The 2 chord, usually a minor, usually can be a minor 7 flat 5, but many times it's been reharmonized to be another dominant chord. So in this case, we've got that B flat dominant 7th. Call that a secondary dominant. And then we can get to E flat. And maybe I should do the B flat 7 like this. And then E flat 7 like that. And then A flat. You could maybe go to a 7th chord, but it would probably be better just to make it like a 6 chord, which could be what? This or this or even that. And actually ending it on a 7th chord would be pretty nice, because you could just, take it down chromatically back to the beginning of the song, or you could go what they say to do. Take it to a C7th, and it might sound better as an altered dominant, because then just a half step down is an F7, unaltered. Okay. If you're confused about this altered, unaltered shit, just leave me some comments down there in the description. I'll try to answer the question intelligently. All right, so let's play a little bit with the track. I'm not going to play much of the melody. Get the idea. It's a little fast, and it's a challenging song, even though you hang on those chords for quite a while, because those 2-5-1s that go by quickly sneak up on you kind of fast. But it's a good song to know. It gets called at jam sessions probably fairly often, especially down here since I live in Georgia. So anyway, it's a good song to know. Hope you enjoy the track, the chart, the video, all that.